Right now at 5, a Wilsonville man is arrested for killing his father. What do we know so far?
Plus, the two things you'll need to make sure your vehicle now displays in the Rose City if you want to avoid getting towed.
But first, ski season arrives, especially early this year, with some of Timberline's slopes already open and more snow on the way. Thank you for joining us. I'm Christine Pitawanet.
And I'm David Molko. It's nice to kick things off with a good news story, right? Let's get right to Daisy Caballero live at Timberline this evening. Daisy, how's it looking and feeling right now?
Well, hey guys, good evening. As you can see, I feel like I'm in a winter globe. It's just a winter wonderland out here. We got here at about 11:30 this morning and it was nonstop snowing until literally 2 minutes ago. But hey, this is exactly what snowboarders and skiers really love to see up here, especially for the early season. But hey, according to a Timberline spokesperson, this is the 7th earliest opening date for the season since 1972. And a few weeks earlier than last season. Only one lift is open right now. That's the Poochie lift. The Molly lift is set to open this weekend, according to the Timberline website, stating if conditions allow it. Regardless, people are just happy to be up on the slopes. Many tell me for the first time. Some also told me that the lack of snow last year cut their season short, only boarding a handful of times when they bought a season pass. The last ski season also impacted businesses nearby pretty hard, like the Huckleberry Inn in Government Camp. The owner says it's a bit early for him and his crew to see boarders stay there, but is ready for when that does happen. We caught up with a snowboarder who told me his son was actually up here for Timberline's preview weekend, which was November 2nd and 3rd, and they couldn't stay away, so they made the trip back up here for a day filled with snow.
Honestly, we didn't even get out here until early January last year, so the fact that we have like an extra 6+ weeks and season passes is going to almost double the amount of runs we get up here.
And Matt Bachelor announced it will be opening up its season this coming up Friday, 2 weeks ahead of schedule, which this is going to be the earliest opening date for them since 1998. Back to you guys.
Well, how about that? Mount Hood Meadows, too. Friday, the earliest in 15 years. Incredible. Thanks, Daisy.
Yeah, snowing on the mountain, pretty rainy in Portland. Cannot believe that we're approaching this winter weather, right? Meteorologist Joe Ranieri here now. Joe, big changes from last week. So walk us through these next couple of days.
Absolutely right. And if you're going to be traveling over the mountain passes tonight, you will be seeing some heavy snowfall. But again, the snow level will remain pretty much at past levels over the next few days. So here's a look at where we stand in terms of snow levels over the next few days. Tomorrow it'll be at 4,500 feet. The heaviest amount of snow over the next couple of days, Christine and David, will be falling basically tonight and into tomorrow. It drops a little bit by Friday, but come Friday we'll start to see some drier conditions. But this is great news for skiers and snowboarders who've been waiting patiently to see an early start to the season. You can see Mount Bachelor, you're going to be seeing over a foot of snow between now and Friday morning. So the Central Oregon Cascades are going to be seeing a good amount of snow, but really up and down the mountains you'll be seeing plenty of fresh powder over the next several days or so. Here's a live look outside Timberline Lodge right now, a temperature of 29 degrees. I'm forecasting tonight anywhere from 3 to maybe 6 inches of snow. So if you're traveling in that direction, you're trying to get to Bend tonight, make sure you have the chains with you because there will be some snow-covered roads for sure. Now, here in the metro area, we're tracking some heavy downpours still the next couple of hours, and with these heavy downpours, we could be looking at some thunderstorms. As we look at another live look from Timberline Lodge and Mount Hood Meadows, you're going to be seeing those snow showers really pile up here the next few hours. Coming up in my detailed forecast, I'll talk more about the next system that I'm tracking coming in the next couple of days.
Of course, there is another system. Okay, thank you, Joe. And hey, don't forget, you can watch weather headlines on demand anytime on KGW Plus. It is free to download on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
New tonight, the Portland Bureau of Transportation will soon start automatically towing vehicles that have no visible license plate or VIN number.
So it starts this week after changes to city code. PBOT officials say it'll allow them to clear cars that are in violation and blocking a public right-of-way. For example, take this stretch in Northeast Portland, right by the city-run Safe Rest Park for vehicles. It looks like a lot of streets in Portland lined with old RVs, derelict cars, but many of these are people's homes. County data show roughly 20% of homeless people in Multnomah County live in a vehicle.
I don't have anywhere else to go. We don't have anything else but this.
We work hard for what we do have out here, and to lose it is bull.
And I feel like if they do that, there has to be immediate help.
So what happens to people once their vehicles are towed? PBOT did not get back to us for an interview, but officials there say if you think your car was towed, contact Portland Police for information on how to get it back.
Well, speaking of our streets, it's that time of year. Leaf Day service is up and running in the Rose City, which means you'll see PBOT crews clearing leaves along major thoroughfares for the next month and a half. Officials say keep an eye on those signs. Note the dates, since parking during a Leaf Day cleanup could get your car towed.
We provide notice in advance. We've sent flyers in the mail, more than 30,000 flyers to addresses throughout leaf districts.
PBOT says the cleanup effort helps prevent drains from clogging and roads and sidewalks from getting slippery. Crews encourage people to help pile leaves into the street ahead of time for pickup.
A Wilsonville man is in jail accused of killing his father over the weekend. On Saturday morning, 70-year-old Michael James McCann was found shot to death outside a home on South Ellis Road near Malala. Yesterday, investigators arrested McCann's son, 34-year-old Michael Morris McCann. He's charged with murder and is in the Clackamas County Jail with no bail. And take a look at the bottom of your screen. The Clackamas County Sheriff's Office wants you to call that number if you know anything about the case.
Teachers in the Greater Albany School District could hit the picket line as soon as tomorrow morning if the union and district do not reach a deal. The union says it's fighting for improved school safety, student resources, and what it calls a fair contract. If the 600 teachers walk off the job tomorrow, this will be the first strike by Albany teachers since the late 80s. Here's what the union said over the weekend.
Our bargaining team is inside in mediation. We're trying to avoid a strike on Tuesday, and we are working on trying to reach an agreement.
The school district says it's been actively negotiating in good faith and is working hard to find a resolution. Either way, the district says there will be no school for students tomorrow to allow teachers to return from the long weekend and settle in if they reach a deal.
It is, of course, Veterans Day, and today the University of Portland held its annual 24-hour vigil. The vigil started at 11 o'clock yesterday morning at the Praying Hands Memorial on the East Quad of campus. Both an Army and an Air Force cadet stood watch at the memorial throughout the 24-hour vigil. Cadets did rotate watch every 30 minutes.
It's very special to me because it represents what our country has done in time of need, and the people that have stepped forward and taken the oath to defend and support the Constitution of the United States.
This is one of the many events happening today in the Portland area, or that happened in the Portland area, honoring those who have served our country.
Meanwhile, in Northeast Portland, folks turned out for a Veterans Day parade, including one group that is working to make a difference in veterans' everyday lives. Libby Dowsett is here with more. Libby?
David, the crews from GI Junk Removal Redeployment see a lot of trash left behind and headed for the landfill. So the owner teamed up with another local nonprofit to repurpose abandoned bikes for veterans and their families. Members of GI Junk Removal and its nonprofit Redeploy rode through the streets celebrating Veterans Day Monday. They've teamed up with Reborn Bikes to bring life back to their junk.
They are rarely in great condition. A lot of times left outside in this PNW weather, and they're rusty messes.
The messes Calhoun is speaking of are now shiny and new.
This one I took completely apart. Oh yeah, I'm pretty proud of this one.
It takes more than a mechanic's hand to make this all possible. Volunteers behind the scenes help organize hundreds of bikes. Nearly 200 this past year alone from GI Junk's team, going straight to veterans.
And a lot of times the veterans come to us with their entire families, so we can give bikes to the whole family, and now we've created a family activity and a way for them to engage together too.
Whether it's a dusting off and a polish,
usually I go through and clean them all first,
or a lot more.
And some we literally will strip for parts.
It always comes together in the end.
You can see the veterans really appreciate it. You know, they always want to do for somebody else, but they really need it too. You never know what's going to happen, what kind of doors it's going to open up for them.
The bikes are not just for veterans, they are also free for refugees, families from Title I schools, rehab patients, and pretty much anyone in need, and they always welcome new donations. Back to you.
Libby, what a great story. Love what they're doing for the community.